Day 2 on the floor of PDAC, and we are so lucky to have Roy Bonnell from Allied Critical Metals. How are you?
I'm good. I'm lucky to be here. Thanks, Tracy.
Well, we're extra lucky to have you because today you just announced big results. Your PEA results finally came out. Where do we start?
So it's our initial PEA off the MRE that we have already. We think it's really exciting. We announced that at $1,500 an MTU, which is $500 below spot, we have a $1 billion NPV project. And our project is likely to get much bigger with the 20,000 meters of drilling we're doing this year.
Okay, and for those of you out there going, Allied Critical Metals, what is this and where is it? Portugal, tungsten, let's start there. And give us some reasons why this is such a competitive tungsten project.
Well, the world has changed, and a lot of things are happening at once. The NATO's 5% GDP spend. We've got war in the Middle East, war in Europe, potential Chinese adventurism in Asia, and continuing reestablishment of industries in North America, all of which are requiring tungsten at a time at which 85% of the tungsten in the world is coming from China, and that's being turned off because of trade disputes between the West and China. And quite frankly, there's less and less good tungsten available right around the world.
Oh, so let's go to that point, because there's a lot of knee-jerk young tungsten companies popping up.
There's a lot.
There are. So what makes yours different?
Well, we're bringing back into production 2 historic tungsten properties in northern Portugal that had produced tens of thousands of tons of tungsten concentrate since 1904 until it was shut down in 1986 for low prices. So we know the tungsten is there. We know it's easily turned into 65% concentrate. And we know that it's been used successfully by all sorts of industries for years. And because it's in Portugal, a first world country with first world infrastructure, we don't have to spend the time and money that a lot of these big deposits have to that are remote in order to get into production. We're ready to go in terms of that infrastructure day one.
One of the themes we've been seeing at PDAC the last 48 hours is government relations. Government meetings?
Oh, a lot, with all sorts of governments, from European governments to Portuguese governments to American governments and Canadian governments. I think that's another way the world has changed. You look at the US alone, and there's $500 billion that they're making available for critical metals because the race is on in the West to become more autonomous when it comes to supplying critical metals to our industries and to our military.
And government relations weren't an issue, a compelling marker for looking at a public stock a year ago, but they are today, that's for certain. So PDAC, what are your goals here? Are you guys raising money, or what's the plan of action, Roy?
Well, as you pointed out this morning, we put out our PEA. So that allowed us a great forum to then come and see good folks like you and evangelize our project, both from a geological perspective and from a financial one.
And you kind of came out of nowhere, announced this project. The stock has moved stealth-like.
Yeah.
Nothing short of stealth-like.
It's been 9 months since we listed. Our stock is up 6-fold, and the price of tungsten is up about the same. So it's been a wild ride in 2025, and 2026 is looking like it's going to be bigger and better.
Well, it's certainly, yes. So on that note, for those of you out there interested in Allied Critical Metals, can you tell us what we should be looking forward to in the upcoming quarter or two?
Oh boy, well now that we've got our PEA out, our focus is going to be on financing construction of our plants. We think that we can get into production before any of our peers and leapfrog all of them and be a producer as opposed to just an explorer and developer. And offtakes as well. There's no shortage of people out there looking for tungsten, and we're looking forward to announcing that. And as I said before, we've got a 20,000 meter drill campaign going on at the same time, which means bigger, better, and more profitable deposits to come.
And I'm just going to back you up for a second. Often I tell everybody, pay attention to the CEO, take a look at their track records and their professional experience for these companies. You had a very senior career. What inspired you to throw your hat back in the ring and be a CEO of a small cap, which is moving stealth-like, as we've pointed out?
It's been a really exciting opportunity to work with good people. You know, I started this project back when I met the team from Portugal at PDAC 2023, and I thought these guys were serious, and they had a commitment to both the deposit and tungsten beyond just anything financial. There is a long and storied connection between northern Portugal and tungsten production, and it's a lot of fun to be part of it.
So, a question for you. You know, there's a lot of countries that we cover. We have a lot of geopolitically directed investors that follow InvestorNews. Portugal, tell me something interesting about why we should be looking at Portugal as an exciting investment opportunity.
Well, much like the US has a critical metals policy, so does Europe. But I don't think Europe has as many opportunities for actual autonomous critical metal production as the US. There's very defined places where you can still mine in Europe, and one of those is the Iberian Peninsula. And Portugal's long history of mining, which goes back to its founding by the Romans, is one of those places. So as I said, there's a long history there. There's good social acceptability. So I expect that we're not going to be the only new and interesting project to come out of it.
So for those of you interested in finding out more about allied critical metals, please go to the following website. Roy Bonnell, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you continued success in 2026.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.